The U.S. still needs a landline phone system as a backup in America. The cell phone system in America is not perfect. Due to things like possible wars, blackouts, or other emergencies that can happen, you still need a landline phone system in America as a backup. Natural disasters are another one that can cause a lot of problems. The state of California recently stopped AT&T from pulling their landline system out of that state. A couple of the major reasons California stopped this by passing a law in the state house was basically this. If AT&T would have been allowed to pull out of the state when it came to the landline system, there would have been all kinds of problems with 911, poorer people not being able to afford phones, and massive blackouts due to the cell phone industry issues that would have affected about half the state. At least probably a third of the state would have had no service. Maybe even close to half of the state would have had no service. So their state house passed a law to stop this. AT&T is essentially the carrier of last resort in about half of the states in the United States, including my home state of Michigan. I would encourage anybody that could be affected by this at the state level to call their state AG or the agency in their state that regulates this if AT&T tries to pull the landline system out of their particular state. You need to get involved and you need to call these people and complain, because it was done in California and it could be done elsewhere if AT&T tries to pull out. According to my research, AT&T wants to essentially get rid of the entire landline system in America because it's not profitable for them. In fact, they make literally almost no money off it whatsoever from my research. They want to get out, which is fine. However, there's big problems with this. Big business still needs to be regulated in America. If they want to get out, then maybe the government should force them to sell to another company that could run this as a backup. Or I think a more outside possibility could be the FCC could buy it from AT&T and run it, and the FTC could regulate it. The federal government could run it as a nationalized industry, so you still have a landline phone system in this country as a default backup due to externalities and contingencies that can happen out there in this country. I would rather it be a privately held company, but you still need a landline phone system in this nation as a backup in my view. The cell phone system in America is a relatively new technology that still has a lot of problems. I've owned cell phones off and on for over 20 years, but the reality is it's a newer technology that still has a lot of issues, and you still need a default system somewhere as a backup to guard yourself against these way out things that do happen sometimes, especially in some states like California. Once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration. It's free to subscribe.